There are two different real estate markets happening in Lincoln, Nebraska right now at the same time, in the same city, and nobody is telling you about it. One of these markets is hot. Prices up 8% year over year. Homes selling in 18 days. Sellers getting 99% of asking. The other one, prices down 12.5%. Homes taking 47 days to sell. 8 months of inventory. Welcome to the very first monthly Lincoln, Nebraska housing market update, episode 1. I'm Tim Woosley with Living in Lincoln. Buckle up, we have numbers, and one of them is going to make some local builders nervous. Let's go. Real quick, before we dig in, every single week, families just like yours reach out to me, buying, selling, moving to Lincoln, thinking about it for next year. Some are local, some are coming from Denver, Dallas, all over. They want somebody local who will give it to them straight. That's literally what I'm here for. My contact info is in the description. Shoot me a message anytime. No pressure, no pitch, just a real conversation. Okay, let's break this thing wide open. Section 1, the plot twist nobody is telling you. Here is the thing every Lincoln real estate agent on Instagram is talking about. Prices are up. It's still a seller's market. Buy now. And technically, they're not wrong, but they're telling you one story when the data is telling two. There are existing homes, the houses already standing, the ones grandma raised her kids in, the ones with the established neighborhoods and the trees that took 30 years to grow. And there is new construction, the brand new builds, the developments, the freshly poured slabs. These are two different markets right now. And I'm going to show you the receipts. Existing homes in Lincoln in April 2026. Median sales price, $293,500. Up 8.1% from last year. Up 8%. New construction in Lincoln in April 2026. Median sales price, $419,950, down 12.5% from last year, down 12% in 1 year. Same city, same month. One market is appreciating, the other is correcting. If you've been confused about whether the Lincoln housing market is hot or cooling, congratulations, you've been right both times, just about different parts of the market. Section 2, the existing home market, still on fire. Let's break down the existing home market because this is where most of you are playing. If you're buying or selling an already built house in Lincoln, these numbers matter. Median sales price, $293,500, up 8.1% year over year. Days on market, and brace yourself, 18. Not 30, not 50, 18 days. If you list a good house in a good Lincoln neighborhood at a reasonable price, it's gone in less than 3 weeks. Sales to list ratio, 99.2%. Translation, sellers are getting almost every dollar they ask for. Months of inventory, 1.6 months. A balanced market is 5 to 6 months. We are nowhere near balanced. This is still a strong seller's market for existing homes. And here is the cherry on top. Closed sales are up 10.9% year over year. That means more houses are selling at higher prices in fewer days. That is not a cooling market. That is a market that quietly missed the memo that it was supposed to slow down. Section 3, the new construction market. Houston, we have a problem. Now let's flip over and talk about the new construction market. Buckle up because the data here is wild. Median sales price for a new build in Lincoln in April, $419,950, down 12.5% year over year. Days on the market, 47. That's almost 7 weeks, about 2.5 times longer than existing homes are taking to sell. And closed sales, down 32% year over year. 32. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Months of inventory for new construction, 8.1. 8.1. Remember, a balanced market is 5 to 6 months. new construction in Lincoln is now a buyer's market territory. There are more new homes sitting on the market than buyers ready to buy them. What does this mean? Builders are sitting on inventory. Builders are dropping prices. Builders are offering concessions. If you've been thinking about buying a brand new home in Lincoln, this is genuinely your moment. The leverage just swung. Section 4, what buyers should actually be doing right now. Buyers, this is the most interesting moment for you in Lincoln in maybe 5 years. Why? Because you finally have options. Real ones. Option 1, chase existing homes. They're still moving fast and prices are still climbing, but homes are taking 18 days now versus 16 last year, which means you have just enough breathing room to actually request inspections, negotiate small things, and not have to write a love letter to the seller's grandma. That's real progress. Option 2, pivot to new construction. Yes, the average price is higher, but builders are negotiating in ways they haven't in years. Closing cost contributions, rate buy downs, free upgrades. 8 months of supply means there's a builder somewhere in Lincoln willing to make a deal. Also, affordability index for existing homes is 130, meaning the typical Lincoln household can comfortably afford the typical Lincoln home. The national average is much lower. You are in one of the most affordable, solid metros in the country. Use that information. Section 5, what sellers should actually be doing right now. Sellers, your year is still excellent if you're selling an existing home. Price is up, days on market low, sale to list ratio almost 100%. You can absolutely still win in this market. But here's the thing, existing home seller advantage is not the same as any seller, any price, any condition will win. The market is rewarding well-priced, well-prepped homes. Overpriced or poorly presented homes are sitting longer, even now. 3 things every Lincoln existing home seller should do right now. 1, price it right from day one, based on actual comps, not what your neighbor sold for 2 years ago. 2, prep the house. Paint, declutter, fix the obvious stuff. 3, list it in the spring, summer window, if you have any flexibility. December is still the slowest time of the year, and it's not close. Section 6, my prediction for the rest of 2026. Okay, time for the prediction. 3 things I think happen to the Lincoln housing market in the next 6 months. Prediction 1, existing home prices keep climbing, but slower. We'll end 2026 somewhere in the 4 to 6% appreciation range, not the 8 we're at right now. Still healthy, just less dramatic. Prediction 2, new construction prices continue to soften through the summer. Some builders will offer significant concessions to clear inventory before the fall slowdown. If you're a patient buyer, you have a real opportunity here. Prediction 3, the gap between existing and new construction closes by year end. Existing prices keep going up. New construction stops dropping. Somewhere around late fall, they meet in the middle. Mark this down. We'll check the scorecard in December. Section 7, the real takeaway. Here's the real takeaway from this month's numbers. Lincoln, Nebraska is one of the most interesting and quietly excellent housing markets in the country right now. Strong existing home appreciation, softening new construction, giving buyers leverage, an affordability index that most major cities would kill for. Whether you're buying or selling, or just thinking about it, there's a play here for you. You just need somebody local who can walk through the specifics with you. That's your Lincoln, Nebraska housing market update for April 2026, episode 1 of the monthly series. If you want to talk through what this all means for your specific situation, reach out. Information's in the description. No pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation. And if you're new to the channel or thinking about moving to Lincoln, go watch my video on the 7 things I wish I knew before moving here. I'll drop it on the screen right there. Hit subscribe so you don't miss next month's update. May data drops in early June, same place, same channel. That's all I've got. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.